So Nano Banana just got a big upgrade. Nano Banana Pro now has Gemini 3 thinking behind it, and it can do up to 4K images. It reads text way better. It is crazy good at understanding like what's going on in a sketch, in a spreadsheet, or a poster. So that's a pretty big deal if you're a designer or a marketer or somebody who actually has to ship stuff. Um, this isn't just cool AI art anymore. It's turning like bad ideas and boring crap into real usable assets. So in this video, I've written 5 prompts that I think can like stress test what NanoBanana can do. And I'm going to run everything in real time. I won't cut out any of the failures, and you can judge for yourself. So one thing that NanoBanana Pro is really good at is taking a really simple idea and really developing it. Let's say your boss gave you this idea on a napkin and he wants coffee ads made out of this. And he's like saying, make it pop or whatever. Or maybe you just have an idea and write it on a napkin. So you've got this initial sketch and you want to ask NanoBanana to create like pristine visuals out of it. So let's give it a try. So I've pasted the picture into NanoBanana and I've given it this long prompt. I'm not going to go through all the details of the prompt, but basically I got ChatGPT to write it for me. So let's try it out. What we're hoping here for is 3 different versions of this coffee ad, all in one picture. Let's see what happens. Okay. And look at that. Absolutely fantastic. 3 different variations, all with different lighting, different color schemes, and awesome. So the brilliance here is you can start with a really simple idea and then bam, you've got these 3 professional looking renders all done in 20 seconds. So this next idea is called the infinite repurpose. It's a little similar to the first one, but basically if you've ever wanted to take one product or one photo and repurpose it for a bunch of other things like an Instagram feed, a website, a poster, or whatever, NanoBanana is extremely good at making an entire wall of layouts. So we're going to take this one photo of a shoe and we're going to plug it into NanoBanana and say, create an entire launch kit campaign out of this. So once again, I've plugged in my shoe image, I've plugged in my long prompt, and if you'd like me to share this prompt structure with you, which I use all the time, just let me know in the comments and I'll let you know. So let's let NanoBanana go and see what happens. The idea here is that we're getting multiple layouts from a single image, doing hours of work in seconds. Look at this. It's made an Instagram story, an Instagram feed, a website hero banner, an ad title. Look at the typography. It's perfect. There are no spelling mistakes. Admittedly, this is pretty simple, but it's just all perfectly consistent. So that's great. Okay, let's talk about something really boring. Spreadsheets. So NanoBanana, because it has Gemini 3 thinking behind it, it can understand all of the data in a spreadsheet and it can convert that information into something that's actually interesting to look at. For example, we've got this random spreadsheet. It's just a mock-up spreadsheet that I made up showing sales data from 3 quarters on different products. Real boring, right? Okay, so I've plugged this spreadsheet into NanoBanana and I've basically asked it to generate an 8-bit graphic, like a pixel graphic of showing the story of the numbers. So let's let it go. So basically why this matters is that people don't like looking at spreadsheets, but you can capture their attention with a visual to begin with, something that they'll emotionally respond to. Then you can move on to the spreadsheet and go, look here, this is what happened in quarter 1. This is what happened in quarter 2. But the image is the thing that they'll remember. Here we go. This is our image and it looks kind of like Super Mario or Zelda. And it's even added a little title saying our growth isn't just numbers, it's a level up. So that's pretty cool. let's say it's midnight and you forget that it's Mother's Day the next day and you work for a power tool company. And your boss is like, hey, we need a campaign for Mother's Day, and everything else that we've been doing beforehand is aimed at dads. NanoBanana, because of its ability to think, it can help you ideate. What we're going to do here is give it a tiny bit of context. Let's say DIY mums, a modern vibe, no pink glitter. And we'll just ask it for one strong hero image that we can use everywhere. Let's give it a go. Okay, so I've plugged in my prompt. It's called Mother's Day Hero DIY for Power Tools. Just to give you a little bit of context about how long these prompts are and how they're arranged, I've got some instructions saved in my permanent ChatGPT memory for creating image prompts. So it's broken it down into title, goal, reference, canvas, scene, subject, composition, lighting, details, and some negative prompt as well. So let's see what it's come up with. That's a really useful image that you can plug into any kind of campaign if you are working in this kind of environment. But look at the quality of the photo. Look at the photo realism. No missing fingers, no 6 fingers, and really granular detail on the skin. Nano Banana Pro, unlike the old version, is actually able to generate up to 4K, which is a massive increase in resolution. Just to level this up, I've said turn this into a poster for a power tool brand advertising a Mother's Day special. So let's see what kind of graphic we get out of that. And here we go. It's come up with a fake brand name. Obviously, you could put your own logo into there. It's got great typography that's totally appropriate for a power tool brand. And it's put that photo to fantastic use. You'll notice that in the bottom down here, there's a little watermark. You can easily remove that in Photoshop or any other image editing tool. Every image generated with NanoBanana also has something called Synth ID incorporated into it. That's basically a digital watermark that can tell people whether or not something was generated by AI. Part of that is Google's idea to be more transparent about the use of generating AI images. This final one I'm going to call the time travel rebrand. So let's say you've got this old asset from 10 years ago. Rather than redesign the entire thing, you can just ask NanoBanana to update the design, update the branding. For example, we'll start with this fictitious 90s tech poster. It's pretty gaudy, right? And we'll feed this into NanoBanana and tell it to change it from 1990s to 2025. So I've plugged my old poster in and basically just asked it to update this style. All right, we're going to call this one a fail and try again. The design still looks kitsch. Update the typography photo to make them look modern. So let's see if this does a better job. And bam, look, that is just so much better. That was obviously a problem with the prompt, right? From the initial prompt, it thought it needed to take all those assets and reorganize them. When we gave it the second prompt, we got a much better looking poster. We'll just check the typography on here. There are a few typographical mistakes, a little bit of nonsense on there. Let me see if I can ask it to fix the typography. Actually, it did a pretty good job. There is one typographical mistake that I notice here. Datastar Systems has manager/customization, but everything else is fixed. So NanoBanana, because of the Gemini thinking model behind it, can actually go in there and try and read what's going on and then review its own mistakes. That is a huge upgrade. Those are just 5 quick examples that I thought of that would be worth testing out. NanoBanana can do a lot more now, and it is the go-to model for creating images and editing images. So I will definitely be testing more stuff later on. And yeah, if you want my prompt structure, let me know. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.